Welcome back. So let's talk about attention and intention. So your intention is something that you want for the day. We're intending for something to transpire or to happen for us, not to us, for us. So when we put our attention on something that transpires and it maybe isn't the best thing that we can think of that we want to have happen, when you label it negative or positive, that is how it's going to reflect internally, and that is how it's going to show up externally, because you're already hyper focused on it. And when we get hyper focused on something, it becomes matter. Something matters. We want to bring that in, and it matters most, and we'll hold it and we'll form it. And it creates this big dip in our energy, self-sabotage. It will show us we're out of alignment on so many things. When we put our attention solely focused on things that we feel are important, you can put the meaning to that in any way you want to. Your meaning that you put it as creates how it shows up even more in your reality. And what I mean by that is, if you label something negative, it becomes small. It becomes hyper-focused. If we relabel that into something much bigger, it will change the focus and the scope of what it is you're feeling about it. So if something's disrupted your day and you focus on it, it's going to create a bigger problem until you stop the problem and stop the hyper-fixation on it and change that, because you are the controller of the script in the video game. Change the script into what it is you're choosing instead of what it is you don't desire. So you can change that experience into, thank you for showing me that. I didn't even realize that that's what I needed to understand or know about that, but this is how it's working out. And when we put our focus into, it's just something that had to show up, you don't need to label it at all, but you can take it as an experience and move that experience out. It becomes more of the enjoyable experience. And when it's more of the enjoyable experience, and you learn how to shift that, everything will start working even more in your favor, right? So we look at things in how we need to perceive them. It is your belief system behind whatever it is you need to hold. If your belief says you're not worthy, you're rejected, you are not lovable, it will keep showing you more of that. But if you flip that script and allow it to line up in anything that you want to create, it will show you every aspect of that. Understanding where your belief systems comes into this as well is a great way to highlight where it's a little bit out of alignment for yourself, where you're still holding on to that negative belief system that keeps you stuck in the past. And if you want to be stuck in the past, you'll keep holding and replaying a story from the past, even though the past is over. It doesn't really exist. You only have this now moment to create and navigate through. The future hasn't happened yet. The past is already done. So in all actuality, if you bring something tangible from the past up, that will be what you can focus on as a remembering of a way to keep yourself stuck in that pattern. It's almost like you haven't let something go from that pattern to be able to move on and move forward. So I'm going to give you a little technique that you guys can use throughout your day. If it serves you, you can use it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you just cup your hands like this, and put that one thing in your hand. So let's say you're controlling or you're reactive, explosive. Put that in your hand for a second. Just put your awareness into your hand of that thing. Do you want to keep it? Does this serve you? In truth, does it really, really serve you? Most of the time we're going to say, no, it's not serving me. Who created this? Who created the problem in the first place? Was it you or was it somebody else? Because sometimes we want to see it as somebody else. So you determine for yourself, is it yours or is it somebody else's? And if it's not serving you, do you want to keep it? Do you want to allow it to come back in and keep becoming a pattern? Do you want it to keep residing inside of you? Or do you want to finally just understand it and let it go? And again, everyone's different. You choose whatever you want it to be. So let's just say for this moment, we're going to choose to let it go. Can I understand why I created this? Can I understand why this showed up for me? It served me in some way. Am I done? Do I fully understand it? Does it have the ability to come back? Only if I allow it. So can I put some love in this and just understand it for myself and say, thank you for showing me this? It doesn't have to be a good, bad, or negative. There really isn't any of that. You created this in the first place. Are you truly ready to let it go? So if we're ready to let it go, thanks for showing up. I understand now what I need to understand for myself of this, but I'm going to change my story to that. So I can just let this go add love to it, and I can feel it lift out of my body. Now, the next thing you can do is you can take your hand and place it on your heart, one or two, and you can just add love to yourself. If you feel like you need to forgive yourself for this, you can, but just give yourself a little bit of love. Actually, be an appreciation for just acknowledging that you figured it out, right? Be in love with yourself for a second. This journey is about falling back in love with ourselves. So every piece that we let go of, allowing a new piece to come back in, filled us, allows us to move forward. Awesome. Now, how do you feel? Do you feel like a little bit of space just opened up in your body, in your head? It doesn't feel so stuck up here anymore. How does it feel in your body? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Share with me your experience with this. And you can use that technique for anything and allow you to start seeing where you put your stories and your beliefs. The stories and the beliefs are what are guiding you right now. So by letting the old stories go, you can create new stories and new alignments for yourself. I look forward to seeing you soon.